Okay, looks like we're ready to go. Today we're going to discuss the information that we went over in the Junior Parent Seminar for all grade levels. Primarily this will be focused for junior parents that will have seniors in the class of 2018, but we're going to go over the information that'll be beneficial to everyone. If you have questions during the webinar, you can go to or email us at guestspeaker2016@gmail.com. That's guestspeaker2016@gmail.com. We will, throughout the presentation, be stopping and checking the questions and trying to answer them as we go along. So right now we're going to introduce each of us. My name is Kevin Terry. I am the School Counseling Director at Rockridge High School.
I'm Jennifer Dominguez. I have the beginning of the alphabet A through CR.
I'm Amrita Sethi. I have students with the last name CS through IZ.
My name is Kelly Thamelant. I have those students with the last names J through MI.
My name is Cynthia Connell, and I have the students whose last names begin with MJ to SB.
And I'm Nicole Bryan. I have students with last names beginning SC to Z.
So today we're going to go over who will support your child in this journey, and as a family effort, getting plans together for what happens after high school. And the information we're going to talk about today deals with the SAT, some of those changes, the Common Application, and the Coalition for Access, Affordability, and Success, and the FAFSA, or the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. We also want to talk a little bit about how to use Naviance your students can take now to get prepared for college admissions.
Okay, so SAT test dates. These are the spring testing dates for SAT. We're recommending that our students sign up. At this point, you could sign up for a May or June. May might be a bit of a challenge as that falls the same time that we're going to be doing SOL testing and AP testing. So we are recommending that you consider the June testing if you're interested in having your students in the spring. SAT would be a good start for you. That's what we're suggesting. So you can see the registration dates. We do get questions regarding subject tests. Your college or university will provide further information regarding that, but pay close attention to the ones you want to take and the deadlines to apply. The ACT is another test that's frequently required by colleges, so it's either or, and they really view them pretty much the same way. The ACT does require a photo. So if you're looking across the top, you'll see the dates for this upcoming year. So there is an April 8th one, although we have passed the regular registration, you could still late register for the April 8th and the June 10th. And below that, you can see there is a photo upload deadline. So you'd have to have a photo uploaded by then to participate in that testing. Here are the ACT testing dates that are upcoming. And as I mentioned earlier, there is the registration deadlines for the April 8th and the June 10th one. So the Coalition and the Common App, so there are generally two ways to apply to college. Those two ways include paper pencil, which we really don't see much of anymore, and electronic. And under the electronic umbrella, the most often one we see is the Common App. That's the one on your right. Students can fill out the Common App and then use that to apply to schools that accept that, so they could do more than one school in filling out the Common App. One of the newer applications that we're seeing is the Coalition app. That's really very few schools that are looking at, and it would behave the same way as the Common App. So there is some information that you can find on the website about a Coalition app. There's a website down there if you're interested. And as I said earlier, Not a lot of schools are looking at the Coalition app, but it is something that you may encounter as you get ready to apply for college. And some of you who are upcoming may see a little bit more of that. So if your child is not moving into college within the next year or so, you may see it if you happen to be a 9th grade or a 10th grade parent. And the Common App is still one that is generally accepted in a lot of schools. So as you're putting together your list, you may want to make note of how you can apply. So some of the schools have more than one ways to apply. You can apply either using their online application, or you can apply using the Common App. So if you can consolidate those, if you get a really good list going, you can determine, well, I can use the Common App for most of these, or this way I can apply using their online registration. Federal Student Aid, the FAFSA. It is information so that the schools can provide you with financial incentives to attend and or determine your eligibility for financial aid. The FAFSA deadline moved up to October, earlier than it had been in the past. So it would behoove you to fill it out when it comes out in October, as schools do have a limited amount of income in terms of offering to their students. So we will provide more information as that deadline comes, and we'll also provide you some clinics to help you fill that out. But it does depend on your reporting income. So the students who are looking to apply to college this year would have to wait until October. But if you'd like to go and create your FAFSA password, you can do so sooner rather than later if you're interested. So the FAFSA will be available after October the 1st, 2017, and that's when you would be able to complete it. And that would be for the 2018-2019. You are once again invited to submit any questions that you may have utilizing the internet email address below, guestspeaker2016@gmail.com. We can pause and see if any questions have come through. We don't have any yet, so we'll keep checking, and if any do, we'll be happy to answer those.
So what we have here is a NACAC admissions trend survey. What I want to emphasize is the demonstrated interest. That's becoming more and more popular, and that means going to colleges and doing college visits. We also have college reps who come to Rockridge and talk to our students, so attending those meetings. That's especially important for juniors and seniors to be doing, just letting the reps know who you are and introducing yourself to them. Academic performance is evaluated through grades, GPA, and class rank. Grades are important from your freshman year to your senior year, so it's important that you do the best you can all throughout the 4 years. If you have a rough freshman year and sophomore year, colleges like to notice that change in performance. So junior year is especially important because that's your time to peak in your grades if you did have a rough first two years. Rockridge High School will send your high school transcripts to colleges, and we'll talk a little bit about how that's done. Your dual enrollment transcripts, however, are not sent through Rockridge. Those need to be requested from the school that you took the dual enrollment class from. So what appears on a student's transcript? You will see that on a student's transcript, all their high school credits are on there, as well as their verified credits. The verified credits are the past SOL, so that is all displayed on our student's transcript. Towards the bottom of the transcript, you will see the class rank, as well as the class size and our weighted GPA. So the rigor of course schedule is important. You know, colleges appreciate that students are challenging themselves through taking honors, AP, and dual enrollment courses. Foreign language is also very important. For an advanced studies diploma, we do require 3 years of a foreign language. However, it's also good to check with the schools that you're applying to because they tend to have foreign language requirements as well, usually from 3 to 4 years. This example shows two students. The one on the left took 27 credits and the one on the right took 32. Sometimes we're under the impression that the more credits you take, the better your GPA will be, and that's not necessarily the case. The student who only enrolled in 27 credits actually had a higher GPA than the one who took 32 credits. Both of these students ended up getting accepted into the same university. So taking more credits does not equal a higher GPA. This just shows that today kids are a lot more stressed out. The time with friends is becoming less and less, and the time with homework is becoming more. It's important for our students to work hard through their academic years. However, they should also have a good balance of having a life outside of the academics and spending time with their friends. So though we do emphasize the importance of a rigorous course load, we also emphasize the importance of having a good balance. We want our kids to still have a life outside of the books. So with the SAT and ACTs, like we said earlier, we recommend that you take at least one SAT and one ACT and see which one you felt more comfortable with or you did better. Schools will take either or. Junior year is when we recommend that you do now take your SAT or your ACT.
All right, Naviance or Family Connection. What is it and how can we use it in the college planning process? Naviance or Family Connection, we interchanged the names, is a web-based resource that we use with students that helps them with their academics, career, and college planning process. It has data that is specific to Rockridge High School. We are still a new school though, so we put that together with Briarwoods High School, and it is linked to Rockridge High School as well. So how can we use Naviance in college planning? It's a great way to get information about specific colleges, students' colleges that they're interested in underneath the Colleges I'm Thinking About tab. And you can click on those colleges and get specific information that is has their deadlines, has their cost, acceptance rate, and activities and majors underneath that. You can compare colleges, you can track college application deadlines, and you can also view a schedule of college visits to Rockridge High School. We are still having colleges visit us now during the springtime, and also military, National Guard, and Army as well. You can also create a resume through Naviance too. And it's never too early to start creating a resume, whether you're a freshman or a sophomore, adding in that information. That way you're not forgetting about anything and it's all there for you. How do you access Naviance? Students and parents have access to Naviance. You can go under our school counseling tab to the College and Career Center, and on the left-hand side, there is going to be a Naviance tab there where a student can sign in. College search. So one of the things on Naviance, again, is searching for colleges, and you can change the search by looking at whether your child is interested in a 2-year or a 4-year school, public or private. What kind of campus? Are they looking for a large city school or a small city school? You can also get data about the colleges. So for example, here we see James Madison University. We can see the different types of deadlines that they have, whether they're regular decision or early action. You can also see how your child compares to that university as well. On the bottom half of that screen, continuing down, you can see what their acceptance rate is, what the ACT scores or SAT scores of students that have applied there, and what kind of high school academic subjects they're looking for as well. Again, you can visit colleges. Colleges are coming to Rockridge High School. We do get some now in the springtime, but the majority of colleges do come in the fall. So you can sign up for those college visits at Rockridge High School through Naviance.
Okay, so what are the important steps for juniors? Juniors need to register and prepare to take the SAT and or ACT, start exploring academic majors and career interests, do some research on colleges and university, then visit the colleges and universities, discuss the college financial planning or financing options, develop a college list, and then create and maintain a resume. So step one, encourage your junior to take the SAT and or ACT at least once, as we said before, during the junior year. Students may take each test as many times as they would like, but usually we discourage taking the test more than 2 to 3 times. The latest recommended testing date that we would like to see seniors take would be in October or November of their senior year. This is due to the fact that it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get the scores, and oftentimes that conflicts with deadlines. Students may wish to consider their schedules before they sign up for a test and to plan accordingly. How do you register? You register for the SAT at www.collegeboard.com and the ACT at www.actstudent.org. It's best to register early to get the first choice of testing locations. Once they fill up, you have to move on to another location. You can avoid late fees by registering early. Generally, the last date to register for a test at the lowest cost is about a month before the test. The Rockridge High School code for registration is 470140. You may send or ask to send the scores directly to the colleges through the College Board or through ACT. Generally, when you register for a test, you'll give the option to send scores automatically to 4 schools at no cost. If you wait until after the test date, then it will cost you to send the test scores per school. Some schools have an SAT score choice option. You'll have to look into that at the various schools that you're applying to. We encourage students to take advantage of the free score reports sent to the colleges I mentioned before, and you will pay a fee after you take the test. Step 2, explore academic majors and careers. You can do this through Naviance by completing the Career Interest Profiler on the Career tab. Keep in mind that not every school offers every major. It's okay to apply to a school undecided, and many schools actually don't let you declare a major until junior year. If your student is fairly certain about what career they would like to go into, then make sure that he or she applies to schools that offer that major. Research colleges and universities. Encourage your child to look for the right school or the right fit for them. It's not all about if it's the best school or has the best reputation. It's about a school that feels good to your student so that they will be happy there for at least 4 years. Fit the college to the student, not to the child to the college. And remember that there are over 4,000 colleges and universities in the United States, so there's a college for everyone. When you're considering colleges, keep in mind the following things. Where is it located? What is the size? How much does it cost? What are your students' career goals, and do they offer those majors? Check into financial aid. Other important things are student life. If your student would like to be a part of fraternities or sororities, or if they'd like to be a part of clubs or sports teams, do they have those things? There's another important thing to consider are the dorms. the residence halls. Is this a place where your child may want to sleep every night? So just get the feel of the campus, and you won't know that until you actually step foot on the campus. Take a look at the college financing options. Have conversations with your child about what is realistic about the college cost. This doesn't mean that a student shouldn't apply to a school that they're very interested in, even if the cost falls outside of your maximum amount that you can spend, because oftentimes they will be able to apply for scholarships, or the school may offer them additional money based on your FAFSA and other things. So, but just have the conversation so that when your child applies, that they're aware that if the money doesn't come into fruition, that they will have to choose to go to another option that they have chosen. Financial aid and scholarships oftentimes can make a school that seems too expensive affordable. Attend all financial aid nights that are offered by Rockridge High School or another local high school in Loudoun County. Step 6, develop your college list. Students are encouraged to narrow down their list of schools to 5 to 7 colleges. And this is based on all the factors that we've already discussed today. Try to develop this list by the end of junior year, or certainly by the beginning of senior year. For each school on the list, your child should ask, if this is the only school that I'm admitted to, would I feel comfortable going there? In step 7, create and maintain a resume. College applications will ask the same questions over and over about extracurricular activities, honors, job experience, volunteer experience, etc. So if your student creates the resume, and there we do have a resume feature in Naviance, or they can create their own, then this process, when they're filling out applications not only for college but for scholarships, will become much easier. Try to work with your child to be able to organize the information on their resume into a nice, neat package. And then when your child asks a counselor or a teacher for a letter of recommendation, it would be awesome if they could provide this resume to the person that they're asking to write the letter. So just sit down, start the resume now. As things pop into either your mind or your child's mind, you can add them as you go, and that'll make the process in senior year much more pleasant.
Why the rush? Why so early? College admissions process can be overwhelming and stressful to many students and parents. So we would like you to break it down into smaller steps, and that's why we've started to talk with our juniors regarding the college application process, so that we can break it down into smaller steps and to ease the anxiety that it can create. Starting early helps the students to make more informed decisions about college and to be more comfortable with their decisions. Glimpse into the senior year, the admission deadlines. There are several definitions. Early action is typically, as you can tell, from November 1st to the 15th, which is a non-binding decision. Typically, you're by applying early, it's just allowing you the opportunity to know early if you have been accepted to a university. There's really no other benefit. However, or I should say, sorry, going forward, early decision is typically from November 1st through the 15th. This decision is binding. So this is the college that you want to go to. If you get accepted, you are comfortable not being accepted anywhere else, that this is the college that you want to go to. That would be the only reason why you would your application at the early admission deadlines. Regular application deadline is most common. This is between December 15th, January 1st and the 15th, and February 1st. Rolling admission, This is typically, or I should say, we see a lot of rolling admissions with community college or junior colleges. Of course, there are scholarship consideration. The scholarship consideration have earlier priority deadlines, and they may be connected to the early decision. Helpful hints shared by other parents. Encouraging and realistic when discussing college. Do not talk about college or future every day or during every conversation. Consider creating a regular time to discuss college and college planning with your child. For example, maybe after dinner every night or every other week. Consider having a binder or a file drawer in your house to keep information that you would gather along the way. And of course, attend college fairs, presentations, and events with your child. Looking ahead, we provided some guidelines so that we are breaking down the steps for the college application process for you. So we're giving you an idea of what you're be doing at this time and throughout the next year. So starting now, early spring, between February and June, the counselors have already went into the classrooms and provided a presentation to your students regarding graduation requirements and kind of some information about what is available to them with regard to post-graduation planning. We have started our June meetings, so we have directed juniors to set up their 45-minute meeting with their counselors to talk about their plan, to also talk about their schedule for next year and see what they have done or haven't done at this point so that we can provide them some direction. I'd like you to start to look at look and make a schedule to complete the SAT or the ACT assessments. Let's see, we are also encouraging your students to create a spreadsheet of colleges of interest and starting to manage that process. If your student is looking at multiple colleges, there's a lot of information that you need to gather in order to make informed decision about if the college is accessible and if it offers the things that your student is looking for. Does it have the program? So by creating a spreadsheet and collecting this information, it will help manage all of this information that you are gathering. We want you to identify and plan college visits. Keep in mind that during the year, the students will be able to see the hustle and bustle at the colleges rather than the summer. If you have to go over the summer, it's still a good opportunity to see the campus and get a feel, just that during the school year, possibly over a weekend might be ideal, again, so that you can kind of see the hustle and bustle and all of the students that are attending during the school year. Identify teachers for letters of recommendation. So before leaving for the summer this year, we've encouraged our students to start to identify 1 to 2 teachers that they would like to ask. We've gone so far as to give them an idea of what that conversation looks like, because it should be face-to-face, and what the next steps are after asking those teachers. Over the summer, we would like students to continue those college visits. Again, schedule fall SAT or ACT, but I will say again that we do encourage students to be finished before they go into their senior year, because of the added stress that it could cause with the schoolwork that they have and applying to colleges during that time. It would be ideal if students were finished before they started their senior year. And so just keep that in mind. And of course, they may begin the college applications and also essays. For example, the Common App has already provided the essay prompts for students who are applying to colleges for next year. So many students take advantage of this and start to look at those essay prompts and start their writing process. This does give them an opportunity when they return to school in September. They can then ask a teacher English teacher or a teacher that they highly respect to review their essays, or just to get some feedback. In the fall, when students are returning to school, they will be requesting transcripts through the counseling office. We have a specific form that will be submitted for each college. So that's one form for each college that they will be applying to. They, of course, will be completing college applications. And you want to, if you're managing this process, you will be managing your time around the college application deadlines. Students will be following up with the teachers that they are asking to write them letters of recommendations. And then, of course, beginning the FAFSA.
So before we get into the final part of our presentation, I wanted to look at some questions, and Ms. Famalant already addressed one of these, which was, when should students request letters of recommendation? So as she said, they've been speaking to the students, the juniors, about getting a letter of recommendation before they leave, or talking to teachers before they leave for the summer. So teachers have opportunity to work on that over the summer. And another question was, will this PowerPoint be available? We can make it available on our website, and this presentation will be saved on YouTube, so you can come back to watch it at any time. Every year, or last year and years ahead, we're going to ask our seniors to make an advice video. What is important? What did they want to tell upcoming seniors, and what advice do they have? This is kind of their speech to us about what is important to think about as you go through your senior year. Okay, sorry about that. Not everybody was able to hear that, but it is on our YouTube website, and you'll be able to watch that again if you wish. when this presentation is also archived on our YouTube website. One or two other questions that were similar questions to what we had for our junior or our college panel night. One of the folks in the audience asked in the college panel night from the colleges on the stage, which were primarily addressed to the Virginia schools, UVA, Virginia Tech, Virginia State, and JMU. Are there quotas or only certain numbers that you'll take from each region? And all of them express the same: compare and accept students within a school. Most of the in-states have about a 70% rate of acceptance of Virginia students. And I know that's a big question that many families have had for a while. As you know, this area grows and other areas grow, and they kind of reassured parents that first they look at students within their own school, then the region, then the state in making their admissions decisions. So that's an important fact to remember in all this. As Ms. Femelin also said, the best way to get started on this is to start planning and get things done over the summer. For our current juniors, try and find a few folks you can get for a letter of recommendation before you leave. Look at the Common App essay questions and prompts and work with your current English teacher on those prompts. If you're a sophomore or freshman, it's a good idea to look at those prompts. They only changed a little bit from last year to this year. So it's a good idea to, even as a freshman or sophomore, take a look at them, know what they're going to be expecting in that type of essay, and maybe even work with your teachers on writing an appropriate essay. So we'll check one more time for questions and see if there's anything else folks have questions or concerns about. Please follow our Twitter and Instagram. All these presentations are posted both on Twitter and on our website, and we will also work on posting the individual slides. So currently, counselors are working with students on schedules and making sure their course requests are accurate and in. Forms will be coming home for folks to sign off so they see the teacher recommendations and the course selections that students made. All those selections are due by June 1st. Everything is finalized so we can get started for next year. Thank everyone for watching, and we'll be doing another webinar soon. Thank you.